There is tons of manipulation going on, people. So today we are diving in deep, real deep into the dark pool data. Let's talk about it. Hey, CLOV Nation, my name is Sean, and this is Sean Stocks. Of course, I just want to say that I'm not a financial advisor, so please use your own judgment and do your own due diligence on anything I talk about today. Before I get started, I just want to also say that I appreciate everyone's support. We just passed the 1,000 subscriber mark on this channel recently, and I can't thank you enough for being part of my YouTube journey and following my CLOV videos that I've been making. It's been a great experience so far, and I'm excited, just as all of you are, to see this stock go to the moon. So thank you again. Today, we are going to again continue talking about the underdog, the lucky stock, the one and only CLOV, CLOV. This is my 23rd video on CLOV. If you want to binge watch all my CLOV videos, there is a link in the description below to a playlist. If you appreciate my close following of CLOV and want to get this video out to more people and help spread the word about CLOV's momentum, please like this video, share with a friend or community, and subscribe. While you hit the subscribe button, please ring the bell as well. It really helps. Keep in mind, the more likes and subscribes, the more the YouTube algorithm is likely to push this video out to more people and keep this CLOV momentum going. So with that being said, let's get started. So earlier in the day today, one of our fellow Redditors, Administrative Tie 945, posted that they reached out to the stockgrid.io people to get a better understanding of the dark pool data. So we are going to take a look at that page, but real quick, what is dark pool data? Well, Investopedia says that a dark pool is a privately organized financial forum or exchange for trading securities. Dark pools allow institutional investors to trade without exposure until after the trade has been executed and reported. So now that we have that covered, let's go to the post and check it out. So they said, all right, guys, got some good stuff for you right here. Reached out to StockGrid, seeking a better understanding of the data. Got the answer I was looking for, except the end piece. Anyways, looking through the dark pool data, I came across something that I didn't notice before. So basically, they emailed out to them with a bunch of, just information, asking about the data, what it means and everything. They did actually update their website, I believe, after this. So we're going to check that out on StockGrid, and I'm going to go over the website, go over this little paragraph at the bottom here, what they say. And then, as you can see here, we're going to look over Clover Health as a whole. So on the stockgrid.io website, we can look up CLOV, and as we can see at the top right, it shows the dark pool data numbers, okay? We can see that everything is negative. Negative 6 million, negative 88 million, negative 161 million, and negative 2 billion, okay? This negative amount of shares or dollar positions tells us that this is in a net long position. A positive number would indicate a net short position. So let's check to see what it says at the bottom of the page real quick. It says, short volume represents the aggregate volume by security for all short sale trades executed and reported to a TRF, the ADF, and the ORF as reported by FINRA. Although it may seem noisy and a rather poor factor on its own, it has been shown by squeeze metrics that higher short sale volume tends to lead to abnormal positive returns. The argument is that short sale volume mostly represents shares sold by market makers to investors buying stocks. These investors are referred to as dark pools since the FINRA TRF trades are from off-exchange venues. More details can be found in their white paper. The goal of this page is to show the cumulative net short dollar volume, dark pool positions, by security. It is calculated by taking the net short volume minus buy volume, which is a positive number, means that a short volume was higher than the buy volume, times the closing market price, and taking the 20-day cumulative sum of this series. So at the end of the day, a positive position or position dollar amount would be bullish, and a negative one is bearish. So this indicates that because the numbers on this page are negative, CLOV is actually in a long 2.269 billion position as a cumulative total of the last 20 trading days. This indicates that potentially we have large institutions buying on dark pools and selling on open market, creating downward pressure to suppress price without influencing upward price movement. Or we have purchased to cover massive naked synthetic shorting. Either way, it seems like it could be massive manipulation that we got here. Again, very interesting stuff, and it shows that they really are trying their hardest to push CLOV's price down. The way that I'm going to fight this is to keep hodling my shares and, of course, buying the dip as well. And checking out the page, as you can see here, they have these nice little graphs, price versus short volume. And then also they have a rolling 20-day position. And this is where those negative numbers come in right here. It was a little bit positive. Here was when we went up to $28 right around here. It was pushed down. And then as you can see, it went down over time. So very fun, interesting data, a new page to bring up on this channel. Next, we're going to talk about Ortex data. In Ortex, we can see that the current short interest percentage of the free float is sitting at 35.04%. This is actually a decrease in the short interest by 5.89% from the previous day. We can also check that the cost to borrow is still as ridiculous as yesterday. Right now, we're sitting at an average of 156.2%. With the max at 300.13%. Both are really high numbers. The days to cover is also at 0.99 days. And lastly, my favorite, the utilization rate is currently 100% still. Great data to hear as always. Next, we're going to check out the iBorrowDesk for a fee update. On the iBorrowDesk, it's kind of cool to see this because you can see, first of all, I just want to bring this up. You can see that you have this huge red spike, and this is when it flew, to that $28 mark. I believe that was on the 9th, I'm pretty sure, or the 10th, one of those days. I think it was the 9th of June. And then you can see we have an even bigger spike, and that's from the 135.7% with 20,000 shares available from yesterday for the fee. Okay, and now we are looking at a fee of 86.8% with 600,000 shares available. Still, that fee is really, really high. So again, pressure is continuously building. Hopefully with these big spikes in the fees, kind of like we saw earlier in June, we will also be able to see with a spike in price, hopefully soon, kind of reflecting that. So I'm looking out for that maybe this week. Next, now we're going to talk about the movement of the day. So today was a red day, everyone, but the good news is that it wasn't so bad. We only dropped 4 cents today, and in the after hours, we actually recovered and moved up by 1 cent. So let's check that out. At the beginning of the day, let's zoom in real quick. So at the beginning of the day, we opened at $13.60. We then had a pretty quick dip and then flew all the way up to $14.17. And that was the intraday high. I was actually pretty surprised with that movement because that was a 4.62% increase from the dip in a span of only 7 minutes. A pretty good swing right there. Then we had a good amount of downward pressure followed by an increase to $14.04. And that is seen here. Got the dip and then $14.04. Okay. After that point, we were pushed down under the VWAP, where we continued all the way to the intraday low of $13.17. Okay, so it kept on going all the way down to $13.17 right here. In the last couple of minutes of the day, we did push back up to a close of $13.32. As I mentioned before, we had a 1 cent increase in the after hours. So it's overall just a pretty neutral day, I would say. Not really much to talk about in terms of the movement. The total amount of volume for the entire day, though, was 34.03 million, which makes sense. And it's a little less than half of yesterday's 73.09 million shares traded. Next, we're going to go back to the internet and go visit Ape Wisdom. On Ape Wisdom, we can see the trending stocks from Reddit in the last 24 hours. As you can see, CLOV is sitting at number 5. Hey, we are still pretty far up there, and we are moving around in the rankings a lot, but keep in mind that we are often at number 1. So keep on mentioning CLOV in the subreddits to keep this CLOV momentum going. If you want to be part of this movement especially, please join and check out our very strong subreddit page. Right now, we're at 33.7 thousand members strong, and in the past day alone, we grew by 500 Redditors. So please make sure to check out the link in the description below to the subreddit to be part of this movement. Keep in mind that we are still in a good position for a gamma squeeze and a short squeeze. For example, as I mentioned the other day, CLOV was at number 1, at the number 1 spot on Fintel.io Short Squeeze Explorer. I also think that CLOV has the potential to follow GME and AMC, keeping in mind, though, that CLOV has a great future and still can be an amazing long-term play. As I always mention, patience is key with this play, as momentum still needs to build. And you know, especially this week, looking at iBorrowDesk, I'm excited. I'm excited to see if this week is going to be the week of a squeeze, but only time will tell. And if you like this content and want me to continue following CLOV this closely, hit the like button, share with a friend or community, subscribe, and as always, have a great trading day, you lucky people. Take care. Bye-bye.